Don't be shocked when it turns out that you're the exception to the rule. When you do things with God, there's a good chance that their rules won't apply. Take it for what it is and be thankful for the favor that follows you. Type yes if you believe. P.S. You don't have to wait until life slows down before you start pursuing those ideas that God placed in your heart. You can do it right now. Thankfully, you've already got what you need to get the job done. All you have to do is start. Type yes if you believe. Friends, you are watching this video, but you are not subscribed, please subscribe. The thing that you're most afraid to do is probably the area that you'll have the most success in. Something special happens when you choose to trust God's instructions over your own insecurities. Type yes if you believe. Just so you know, you're not wasting your time. The work you're doing today may not seem like it's producing big results, but trust me, it's all adding up behind the scenes. Stick to the plan and keep showing up. Type yes if you believe. May you never get so busy pursuing what's next that you forget all that God has already allowed you to accomplish. Type yes if you believe. It's okay to be optimistic. Yes, you can get your hopes up. Yes, you can expect the best. Yes, you can have crazy faith. Yes, you can trust God's plan. This is the only life you get, you might as well spend it expecting good things to come your way. Type yes if you believe. If you ever find yourself in a place where you have to choose between being comfortable and taking a risk, I hope you choose to trust yourself and take the leap. You're far too talented to live in fear, sis. Type yes if you believe. I'm not sure who needs this, but you gotta learn to speak up. You've been way too quiet about your gifts and ideas. There are people who need what you have to offer. Don't let them miss out because you're too nervous to promote it. Type yes if you believe. A saturated market will never be an issue for those of us who get our creativity and strategies directly from God. Your unique approach will always set you apart, and there will always be room for you. Remember that. Type yes if you believe. Doing what God ordered me do has always been a non-negotiable thing for me. And there's not a single person or situation that can make me break my commitment on that. When I say I'm all in, I mean it. Type yes if you believe. If I knew then what I know now, I would have stopped playing it safe a long time ago. Because the moment I decided to trust God and go all in is the moment that everything changed. Type yes if you believe. I wish I had known this sooner, but there's no secret formula to becoming fearless. The best way to overcome it is simply through prayer and action. Pray about it and then roll up your sleeves and get to work. That's really all there is to it. Type yes if you believe. If I can be honest, being disciplined isn't always easy, but I can't afford to give up on the dreams and ideas that God has called me to pursue. There's way too much at stake. Type yes if you believe. Talent and skills can take you far, no doubt about it. But I promise you, if you work with God to build it, you'll go a lot farther. Type yes if you believe. I hope you know that God really does want to see you win. Having challenges isn't necessarily an indication that He wants you to fail. More often than not, He just wants to teach you something. Learn the lesson and keep moving forward. Type yes if you believe. I know we talk a lot about investing in yourself, but don't underestimate the skills and creativity that God has given you. You don't always need a second and third opinion. Sometimes you just need to trust that you have what it takes and then go do it. Type yes if you believe. One thing that I've learned is that God shouldn't always have to give you a big sign before you believe what He's telling you. Small or big, a sign is a sign. Type amen if you believe. If God is asking you to do something, it's for good reason. Don't get too caught up in focusing on how everything is going to play out. Just show up and do your part. That's all He's asking for. He'll handle the rest. Type yes if you believe. I let go of the idea that everything has to be perfect a long time ago. It came down to wasting more time or giving myself permission to show up, be human and make mistakes. I chose the latter. Best decision I've ever made. Type yes if you believe. Yes, God gives us instructions, but He also allows to learn through experience. That first step is always the hardest, but it's also the most necessary. Experience paired with God's instructions is the best strategy you'll ever have. Type yes if you believe. It's only a matter of time before you have your aha moment and everything finally makes sense. Keep going, sis. You're a lot closer to making it happen than you think. Type yes if you believe. Following your dreams shouldn't stop you from living life while you wait. TLL happen. Sis. Take some of the pressure off and find joy right where you are. Type yes if you believe. Advice to anyone feeling stuck in business: find the message that God wants you to share and the person that He wants you to serve, and then get creative at sharing your message over and over again. Don't overthink it. Sometimes less really is more. Type yes if you believe. Lately, I'm seeing more and more creatives ditch the rules and just tap into their own creativity and God-given strategies, even if it seems crazy. I hope you don't pass up the opportunity to do the same. If there was ever a time to make a shift, it's right now. Type yes if you believe. A business tip that not a lot of people talk about: don't stop having fun. Yes, you're working to leave a legacy and create change, but you don't have to choose between enjoyment and success. You can have both. Remember that. Type yes if you believe. I knew I was serious about fulfilling my purpose when I started calling myself out on my excuses. I focused less on the challenges and more on finding a solution. Best decision I've ever made. Type yes if you believe. While you're busy overthinking your ideas, there's someone out there praying for a solution to their problems. What you have could very well be their answer. Don't keep them waiting. Type yes if you believe in. Don't let people make you feel bad for having a backup plan. Having a plan B, C, or D doesn't mean that you're quitting on the dream. It simply means that you'll take whatever route you need to reach your goals. It doesn't matter how you get there, as long as you get there. Type yes if you believe. All it takes is one idea to change everything. Don't ever stop creating. Things are already in motion and your big break might a lot be closer than you think. Type yes if you believe. You only have two options when it comes to doing what you were created to do. You either pursue it or you don't. There's no in between. And as hard as it might be, it's worth it to keep going. That's the only way to truly find out what God has in store for you. Type yes if you believe. Making your ideas come to life is simply envisioning what you want and taking the necessary steps to get there. You don't have to rush it and figure everything out all at once. Movement is movement, and as long as you're moving in the right direction, that's all that matters. Type yes if you believe. Even if I don't feel qualified, I do my best to walk in every room that God sends me to, like I belong there, because I do. And I wouldn't dare let self-doubt rob me of anything that God has planned for me. Type yes if you believe in God. There's always so much advice about being consistent, but here's what they don't tell you. Consistency also requires rest. It's better to work from a full cup than it is to work from a place of burnout. Get your rest, sis. If it's for you, it's still coming. Type yes if you believe. I used to be so worried about someone taking my ideas to the point that I wouldn't even pursue them. But I've learned that you can't give people that much power. Pursue the ideas, protect your intellectual property, and trust God. That's all you can do. Type yes if you believe. Don't get so caught up in waiting for more resources that you overlook what God has already given you. Start with what you have and trust that the rest will come. Because it will. Type yes if you believe. Once you realize just how big the vision is that God gave you, you start looking at things differently. You care less about looking crazy and more about showing up and doing everything in your power to make it happen. And that is when everything changes. Type yes if you believe in God. Maybe it's just me, but I'd rather work while I wait than do nothing at all. I learned a long time ago that God can do more with my effort than He can with my thoughts. And that was all I needed to know to shift my perspective. Type yes if you believe in God. God has a funny way of bringing things full circle, and it's always in the moments when you least expect it. The best thing you can do is to stay hopeful while you wait. It's already in the works. Type yes if you believe in God. At any given moment you're free to decide that you want more out of life. You don't have to do what you've always done. God has given you more than enough gifts and talents to pave a new path. If you want it, go for it. It really is that simple. Type yes if you believe. Reminder, there won't always be a blueprint to follow. Sometimes God is going to task you with being the pioneer. The best thing you can do is trust that He has given you enough skills, wisdom, and creativity to find your way. The rest is up to Him. Type yes if you believe. Call me crazy, but I'm not interested in being the girl with a notebook full of ideas. I'd prefer to be the one who actually pursues them. There is absolutely no way I'm letting these God-given gifts and ideas go to waste. Type yes if you believe. The gifts and ideas that God placed inside of you are far from a coincidence. If anything, it's God's way of reminding you that He created you for a specific purpose. Don't ignore those things that you feel led to do. You never know how far they'll take you. Type yes if you believe. PSA, you don't always have to wait on other people to point you in the right direction. You'd be surprised at some of the insights and strategies you can get just through prayer. All you have to do is ask. The answers are already there. Type yes if you believe. I don't know who needs to hear this, but God is never going to give you a dream that's unattainable. As impossible as it might seem, it's still well within your reach. Remember that. Type yes if you believe. I know you're excited for what's ahead, but don't try to rush through the process. There is still some level of impact that can be made right where you are. Don't save the best version of you for later. Be her right here, right now. Type yes if you believe. Consider this, maybe the reason you can't shake that idea is because God is trying to get you to pursue it instead of run from it. He already knows what you're capable of. He's just waiting for you to get on board. And believe it too. Type yes if you believe. Even though God gives you the idea, there's still a level of responsibility that you have to bring it to life. But here's the good news, He doesn't expect you to figure it out on your own. He'll give you the instructions, all you have to do is follow them. Type yes if you believe. You'd never receive a gift from a loved one and leave it unopened, so don't do that with the gifts that God gave you either. Because even if the packaging isn't what you expected it to be, the gift itself still holds value. Type yes if you believe. You don't always need other people to co-sign on what God told you do. The longer you wait for approval, the more likely you are to talk yourself out of it. At some point, you just have to be okay with trusting God and taking the leap. Type yes if you believe. Every day you wake up, you have another chance to use your gifts. Don't miss out on that opportunity. If you want something better, create something better. You're still here, and your story is still unfolding. Make the most of it. Type yes if you believe. I don't mind working while I wait. I'd rather make sure I'm in position for the opportunities that God is sending me versus mishandling them because I wasn't prepared. Type yes if you believe. Build the business. Pursue the ideas. Go after the goals. But don't forget to live life while you're in the process. You deserve to experience joy right now, exactly where you are. Type yes if you believe. There's no limit on the things you can create when you're operating in your gifts. I don't care how much you release to the world, as long as you stay connected to the source. There's still more to come. Type yes if you believe. The goal isn't just to build a business. It's to build something that's aligned with your God-given purpose. Find out what that is, and go all in. Type yes if you believe. God can use what you already have. Your gifts, your ideas, your talents, even your voice. It's more than enough. You've just gotta be willing to hand it over to Him and follow His lead. Type yes if you believe in. It's okay to be optimistic. Yes, you can get your hopes up. Yes, you can expect the best. Yes, you can have crazy faith. Yes, you can trust God's plan. This is the only life you get. You might as well spend it expecting good things to come your way. Type yes if you believe in. May you never get so busy pursuing what's next that you forget all that God has already allowed you to accomplish. Type yes if you believe. Just so you know, you're not wasting your time. The work you're doing today may not seem like it's producing big results, but trust me, it's all adding up behind the scenes. Stick to the plan and keep showing up. Type yes if you believe in God. The thing that you're most afraid to do is probably the area that I have the most success in. Something special happens when you choose to trust God's instructions over your own insecurities. Type yes if you believe in God. P.S. You don't have to wait until life slows down before you start pursuing those ideas that God placed in your heart. You can do it right now. Thankfully, you've already got what you need to get the job done. All you have to do is start. Type yes if you believe. Don't be shocked when it turns out that you're the exception to the rule. When you do things with God, there's a good chance that their rules won't apply. Take it for what it is and be thankful for the favor that follows you. Type yes if you believe in God.